Hello everyone and welcome to another Thomas video. So today we're taking a look at Sultai Midrange in Thomas format. So this is the second deck we're going to be taking a look at. I wanted to alternate between potentially a new archetype in the Thomas format versus an already existing deck that got potentially better with the Force of Negation. So that's going to be my plan in the upcoming week. We're going to be rotating between something a little bit spicy into something that we've already seen before. So this is Sultai Midrange, and it's kind of a deck that comes and goes in Thomas format. Because when Oko is good, it's really good, but when Oko is bad, it's really bad. So the reason why I think the Oko might be really good at the moment is because of the Reanimator. When they reanimate a big creature, you can Oko just neuter it. But at the same time, we also got Force of Negation, which can not only protect Oko, but we can also protect ourselves from opponent, reanimating, things like that. And it's another deck that can play 4 copies of Deathrite Shaman, which is really good against Reanimators. And we also have Uro back in the deck. A lot of the Sultai Midrange decks have been kind of moving away from the Uro, but I still quite like Uro. And now the fact that we have a Force of Negation as well, not only does it synergize with Chrome Mox, but it also synergizes with Force of Negation and also Force of Vigor as well from the sideboard. So we'll see how this one does. So as that, I'm going to be hopping over to some Thomas Force 3 to show you guys how the deck does. So let's hop over. Alright, let's give this a shot. We have a Thoughtseize, which isn't too bad. We could also brainstorm into potentially a Force of Negation, which is also not bad. So we'll see. We are going second though, so going second is always bad. This might mean... Actually, I don't know what that could mean. I think I'm just going to play a Deathrite Shaman then. First match is just scouting what my opponent's playing, basically. We don't really have the greatest hand, so... Oh, interesting. It's a burn deck. Okay. I guess I'm playing Oko then? Seems like a Fire Blast in hand.
Revel with your king, wild and sovereign and free.
Oko might eat some Fire Blast and we're gonna heal back up with our food token. Unless I die here. Hey, what if I die here? It's an interesting card, isn't it? Whenever this creature is dealt damage, it deals damage to any other target. If a player is dealt damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game. I see. Wow. Okay. We're gonna need some Force of Negation fast, and we got it.
Surely you see the humor here.
Okay. Chain Lightning. Okay. Doesn't seem like I can actually crack this. Seems like a mistake if I did. So if I deal 6 damage here, next turn I can't win anyways. So I should just make another food. But let's say I make a food now. Next turn I deal 6. Just keep pressuring their life total. Mana drain. Pretty close game.
Is enchanting.
So I have a forest, but I can't fetch it. The shocking matter. I don't think it does. A play with fire. Okay. Mountain was the worst draw I could have seen there. I guess I should have countered that no matter what. That was a misplay. I think I should have countered that no matter what, right? Because like, yeah, that didn't make sense. But we somehow got through it, so everything's good. Screaming Nemesis. Interesting card. It Dotsies out. Maybe a Spell Pierce is gonna help. Bitter Triumph. I mean, that's all I got. Unless I want a Calling Ritual. I could have like a copy of a Calling Ritual in case opponent like Roiling Vortexes. Okay, turn 2 Oko. Maybe we have to Fatal Push. Yeah, we might have to Fatal Push here. I could have maybe held on to that Fatal Push for a while. That's my bad. A Fire Blast. It's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. So they can potentially deal 6-10 damage next turn, which is a lot, by the way. It's a lot of damage. Yeah, it's a lot of damage. Fetch a forest and then eat. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I should fetch now. I think I'm just gonna eat now too. In case there's like a life gain hate. They could hold on to like that instant speed 2-mana card that deals 3 damage and prevents life gain, you know? So, Screaming Nemesis comes out. So they could do the same thing, right? They could Fire Blast again. Okay, let's see it. Because if they want to Fire Blast the Screaming Nemesis now, I think that's a mistake, so... I could exchange my Chrome Mox for a Screaming Nemesis here. And then hold on to Mana Drain. I think this is a pretty insane blowout.
Loyalty is fickle and fragile.
And then we still have a Mana Drain. They might kill the Oko now. Eidolon. Short. Okay, we got through a burn deck. Loris. Could be like a Demir Tempo. Force of Negation. Alright, so I want to use my Fatal Push on opponent's turn, right? Because they could have a Force of Negation. Actually, I could, like, check. By playing the Chrome Mox here. But this is probably better. This kind of sucks, by the way. I really wanted to play the Oko, but I can't. Yep, I can't. So opponent's holding on to Bowmaster, it seems. I kind of want to protect this Brainstorm. So I'm going to cast the Force of Negation. Okay, so they're going to take away my Brainstorm now. This is really good for opponent because now they can get back the Loris here. Really bad. We even drew another land there, so... Opponent did miss a land last turn. We might just lose the game if the Loris resolves, so... Ooh, they play Phantasmal Shieldback. Wait, why didn't you just play the Loris? Alright, we're floating a bit. Might be a go next situation. And I think opponent has a Flare of Denial, because when I tried to kill the Hydroponics Architect, there was a stop. There was a stop there, so... So we might just lose here. There's a lot of lands on top, I gotta say. Okay, so they do have a flare. I'll just go to the next one. I think we are 2 behind here. So we want a Carpet of Flower. And maybe Unlicensed Hearse as well. Another copy of a Spell Pierce maybe. I think I want to get rid of things like maybe a Force of Negation? Yeah, I think I want to get rid of things like Force of Negation in this matchup. I think they feel too clunky against this kind of deck. I'd rather just remove stuff. Alright. Shield back. Short. Ooh, a Stifle. That's actually really sick. I could go Fatal Push into Stifle. Yep. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. Fatal Push, Stifle. I'll just get rid of this now. Opponent does draw a card, but I think this puts me at a better spot. Unlicensed Hearse. Okay, that sticks. I'll try to Stifle here. I could have waited on the Uro, but I don't know if I'm gonna be drawing another land. So, yep. Wait, how come the opponent didn't use the Brainstorm first before cracking the Flooded Strand? Now they're more Brainstorm locked, right? Ponder. So that must be a land. It's a tap land as well. Row comes down. Ooh, Bowmaster. Pretty good. Another architect. I do think they have a Flare of Denial, so I actually need another land here. I think I want land right now. Okay, that's actually not bad, right? Since I have a Spell Pierce. It sucks that we can't land the Euro, but... still good enough. No strip mines though, which is regrettable. We also found out that opponent doesn't have a second Flare of Denial. Opponent didn't attack before attacking, cracking the Flooded Strand, so they're not going to be drawing here. They could have a mana drain though. Lorien revealed. I think I kind of want to time my Uro and Orcish Bowmasters together. So I think I pass. Okay, this is really good. I'll just kill the Orcish Bowmaster now. I wanna eat before because they play Treasure Cruise, things like that. Fatal Push. Into another land. I really need another counter spell. Wow, they were still able to cast a Treasure Cruise there. Kind of insane. So we no counter spell, so we just have to cast it. Do we even have another card to play with the Worry Zone card here? We do. So we're gonna Crow here. Not a bad turn. So there's no lands basically. to fetch with the Rainforest, I believe, other than like one shock land. So we have a bunch of like strip mines plus Oko. Okoko. Attack. I should have attacked with the Orc Army token as well. That was my bad. Yeah, I should have actually, yeah, that's my bad. It looks like opponent's going to go to 1 here. And then we're going to Thoughtseize. Go to 10. Even if they top deck a removal spell, I don't think we can die. It was a Bowmaster. So I can Oko make the Psychic Frog into like a creature, right? But then I die because of the way the Oko works with the Psychic Frog with the counter card. So it's going to become like a 9, and then they have exactly 10, and they remove this card, and I just die, right? Unless I can do both here? Maybe I can do both. We'll see. Oh, wow. Okay, I guess they're just gonna die then.
I'll shear the wool from your eyes and spin you flat.
Okay. I feel like Calling Ritual might be really, really good against them. But what do we get rid of? That's the thing. Maybe it's not that good. Maybe just having like another removal spell might be good. Stern Scolding might be really good as well. But yeah, let's just have another removal spell instead of maybe a copy of a Thoughtseize. Okay, Thoughtseize into our Thoughtseize. I'll just... I mean, opponent could have a Spell Pierce. I guess that's pretty bad for me. Ooh, Mana Drain. Mana Drain, you say? We do love a Mana Drain here. Okay. Seems like this is gonna be a lot of passing from now on. We haven't had like a Death Ray Shaman or like Carpet of Flowers start. You know? What's up with that? I think I should maybe start jamming our creatures here. Especially now that I can go like Hearse into Mana Drain. So, opponent might have a counter spell for this, but I get to resolve a Weasel's Own Guard. Okay. Oh, wow. That's really good. Let's Thoughtseize here. Mana Drain, Flare of Denial. Okay. Oh my god, the Mystic Sanctuary came in tap because they're playing Darkslick Shore for some reason. Oh my god. That's insane. Also, where's our life total? Maybe that was like too much. Yeah, maybe that was too much. This one and that one. Yeah, our life total is a bit scary right now. Also, I don't know why I didn't surveil. Making some mistakes here. Ooh. So I have a forest. Do I Chrome Mox? I guess at this point, Stifle is kind of useless, so let's get rid of a Stifle here. So we need a Oko or Uro, right? Oko or Uro. Okay, let's see what happens. A Swamp. An Ether Spell Bomb. An interesting one that they decided to play. An Edict. So, I mean, they can Ether Spell Bomb. Let's actually brainstorm first because we can find an Oko and then we can paste in the Chrome Mox here if I really wanted to. We actually got it. I mean, they're going to bounce the Weasel's Own Guard, right? So let's do that. They have to do it now. So that goes back. Then we can play the Worry Zone Guard. Unfortunately, I actually can't play this Oko, right? Can I? Yeah, I was going to say, if I want to strip mine, I can't play the Oko, because I want to keep these cards on top, you know? Okay, that's a mulligan. That's one. That's a 6 lands. 6 lands. Play the Deathrite Shaman. Deathrite Shaman. Chrome Mox. So this must be a Golgari deck. Golgari deck. This kind of sucks. I can't quite use our... I mean, I can strip mine and then eat the Ancient Tomb, I guess. Strip mine, eat the Ancient Tomb, and then leave up a mana drain. Maybe that's not bad. I could also just Thoughtseize now and then into a Brainstorm. So many choices. Worries on guard. This early is a little bit wonky. A little bit bad. Might just have to Orcish Bowmaster, because I'm sure opponent's gonna attack first. Which will force my Deathrite Shaman to eat the Ancient Tomb, and then we'll have to flash in the Orcish Bowmaster and chump block. Ooh, it's a Strip Mine. Definitely not good. They have to target, right? Okay, they didn't eat it. Into a Deathrite Shaman. Okay, so I'll just eat it now, since opponent's also not like... They could be like missing lands and stuff. I messed up. I should have held up an Orcish Bowmaster instead of topping a Thoughtseize. Mistakes were made. Yeah, what a mistake, actually. Yeah, what a mistake here. I misplayed. I misplayed here. Okay, so it's a Golgari Midrange. I'm gonna probably just take out all the Force of Negations. Maybe like 2. I think 2's fine. Just have more removal spells. I feel like not getting that removal spell kind of hurt that game. And hers as well. Okay, let's do it. Another very unlikable hand, you know? Very unlikable hand, indeed. Chrome Mox. It's like Reanimate coming out. I think we delayed the Strip Mine. Since they could have something like an Ancient Tomb. This is pretty bad. So opponent most likely has a removal spell for this Orcish Bowmaster. And that's not good. That is not good. I don't know, maybe they don't. Wow, they don't. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Six mana. Into a Troll of Khazad-dûm. Okay. Acceptable. So we know opponent didn't have a removal spell last turn, and they had to resort to Dark Ritual into a Troll of Khazad-dûm. This might be like a stare down, potentially. You're going to attack. Insane. Okay, ooh, a Bitter Triumph. That's really sick. The opponent goes to 3. I'll just take the damage if the troll attacks. Into a Dark Ritual. Into another One Ring. Short. I don't know why he got a warning there. Alright, so One Ring is definitely pesky. One Ring is definitely pesky. I think I want some Force of Negation back because now I'm going second. I'm gonna go down on a copy of I think I just... Yeah, let's just go down on Thought Seizes. Put in a copy of a Disruptor Flute, I guess. Or maybe a Toxic Deluge? I mean, Toxic Deluge is... could be really good. Just a copy of it. Okay, we have a Force of Negation hand. Excellent. I thought potentially they might go into another like Dark Ritual. So maybe that was my bad, giving them a Baragoyf there. Yeah. I got greedy. I wanted to see like a One Ring come down and then we force a negation. I got very greedy there. I don't like where this is going. Especially if they have a Ancient Tomb at the same time here. Yeah, this is why Force of Negation is so awkward against that deck. Okay, so they do have an Ancient Tomb. Sucks. Sucks a lot. I have to pick and choose between a Baragoyf and a Wary Zone Guard. Ay ay ay. Okay, well that does make things a lot easier. Okay, well... It's so bad for me, because Baragoyf becomes a 4-5. Oh, they had another one. Alright, GG's. So it seems like Force of Negation... This deck actually needs a Subtlety instead of Force of Negation for matchups like these. Alright, so I changed the deck a little bit, so instead of like 4 copies of Force of Negation, now we play 2 more copies of Subtlety. This hand looks pretty awful, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna mulligan that. And I'll keep this one. Watery Graves. Bum ba bum ba bum. Strip mine. Strip, strip, strip. I'll just shock this in. This could be a reanimator, by the way. Yeah, it seems like a reanimator. Brainstorm. I think I might just counter the Brainstorm here. They could be stuck on lands. Might be a mistake too. That's really bad. They just found a land. Okay, Psychic Frog. Not so bad. Mana Drain, not so bad either. Bowmaster, not so bad. We love that. Okay, so we probably have to Fatal Push this, because if I don't draw a land, I can't kill that and then leave up a Mana Drain. Let's say I Bowmaster, but they get a land, Reanimate, Entomb. I have to let this go, because I can't leave up a Mana Drain for the Entomb plus Reanimate. I would love to just cast the Orcish Bowmaster and just go ham there, but it's just too risky. Okay, we have a Tameo.
Nothing like warm tea and a fascinating.
I'll crack this and kill the Tameo. Lauren revealed. So we can play the Wary Zone Guard next. Say what? It's a Death Shadow deck? Interesting. Didn't expect that. They don't have an instant speed like take damage, right? That's not a thing. Fatal Push. Another Shadow. So now that we know it's not a Reanimator, I'm going to counter that. Okay. A Death Shadow. It could be a Reanimator that is playing a Death Shadow. Could be. I don't know. Let me get rid of a Stifle and... A Subtlety against that deck doesn't seem that great. Let's just have another Force of Negation. We're going second. Okay. Not bad. Not bad indeed. I'll start with the Deathray Shaman. Into another Brainstorm. Into Crack immediately. Into a Hydroponics Architect. Okay. I think getting rid of that Undercity Sewer might be pretty good. I will say. Let's see what we can get with the Brainstorm first. Oh, wow. Interesting. Let's get rid of let's hide the Hedge Maze. Maybe we don't want to strip mine anymore. Let's play a Oko. Now, I don't know if I want to force Abnegation away my Uro here. Okay, opponent surrenders. Alright, so take a look at this deck today. Sultai Midrange with the Force of Negation. It wasn't as good as I thought. Sure, the Force of Negation is good when opponent's playing a lot of like non-creature spells, but against other decks that don't play a lot of non-creature spells, such as Golgari Midrange, and they play just a bunch of creatures, it's really bad. So for those kind of matchups, maybe we're supposed to have subtleties in the sideboard instead of things like Force of Negation. So perhaps if I were to play again, I would maybe try something like this. Yeah, I don't think the deck is bad. But against like a top tier deck like Golgari Midrange, you might struggle. But it does feel a little bit nice knowing that you have more options now with the Force of Negation. Although it's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, it's not bad. So yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all next one. Bye-bye.